I know how it feel to be down on your luck like Andrew. I'm trying to run up the rest.
Hey, we did it again. We did it again. I told you, bro. We gonna keep catching these 5R setups, 5R plus setups all year long. Bam, bam, back to back, one a week, two a week. Maybe one week we don't catch one, but this week, well, last week we did. And this is my second time recording this. I had took a 17-minute video earlier. Sound wasn't on it. So here I am doing it again. I'm not going to leave y'all out. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you how I took 200 to over 600 and how I had a 100K prop account up 21%. So the first time I broke this down, I just used the straight charts. This time I'm going to draw up the textbook example of what concept I executed because I mentally comprehended it. And I'm also going to show you this confirmation list of what all I've seen in front of me to actually feel confident to take this trade. So I'm going to throw this little clip in here real quick. Last week talking about GJ buys, right? This is me actually marking the charts, getting ready to execute a trade. And I just want to show you what that looks like before, you know, we execute because you've got to comprehend. I have no clue what's going to happen, but I do know if certain things do happen, certain patterns and certain structure patterns, etc., then that's when I know when to execute. So I want to show you one reason why I'm looking to take some buys on GJ. So, all right, I showed you that because we were here. So we still could have, bless me. So yeah, like I said, when I took that last video, we were still here. So we could have potentially still popped bearish, but we can see that low failed and we actually got a bearish change of character low. So this is where the process starts to form on the buys that I took. Why did I still take buys if we just got a flip that's a bearish change of character? And I'm going to show you. So let's look at what we have. We have this high, this low, this high, this low, this high, a low down here, an equal high, low that swept this. We have that bullish change of character. Another failure up there. Low, high. Okay, bam. So this is the example of all this price right here, starting from here. This is exactly what we're looking at. And I want you to start being able to see price like this, knowing that everything in the middle of a high and low point is not essentially irrelevant or obsolete, but it doesn't much matter as much as the external highs and lows matter. So right here, this is what we got drew up, right? Here's the small version. Now we have the big version. Scroll out a little bit so it ain't so ugly. Okay, so now that we've got this big version, I'm going to use it as an example. Just straighten this up a little bit. Okay, so where's the confirmation list? Let's walk through this. How in the world did we turn 200 to 700 and experience a 20K day? So the biggest thing was this gap that I seen right here. And you can actually see that gap right here on the chart, right? So that gap was important because gaps act like magnets that the market is attracted to. It'll come and fill those areas and then actually have real reversals. So when I seen that, and I also seen, so let's try to use this example and the live chart. Okay. So right now we're looking at this high, this high. Now follow me now, because this is for real heat. I can tell breaking it down this way, it'll help somebody, let alone myself looking back at it. So we get this, right? And then we see this low point, aka this liquidity gets swept, and it's actually bullish liquidity. So once I've seen the gap fill get filled, and we have this bearish change of character point, I know from using 1, 2, 3, 4, we can say this is R1, the bearish change of character. Now we are at a 2, which is retracement back to the other side, right? So after seeing this gap get filled and this liquidity from this low being swept get taken, in my head, I'm willing to take what are now counter trend buys, right? So, oh, we might need to go down a time frame. I don't know what that's going to do to our example right here. Let me see if I can copy and paste it. When price actually gets to that zone, let's see how it behaved. So this is where we are, right? So in my head, I know this is our 1. In my head, I know this is our 2, and I'm actually expecting a retracement up. So when we get here, let's look at the times. My entry time started at 2 a.m. So right here at 1 a.m., we can see that price had this doji candle, this hammer candle, I believe is what it's technically called. It's not actually a doji. Pretty sure that's a hammer, which is also a reversal candle. So once I seen that print, I'm like, okay, I'm actually willing to take some buys. What do I need to see to actually take these buys up? And let's do a textbook example before we look at what actually happened. Hold on, let's find some empty space. Okay, we can even come back down here to our example and follow, because we're looking at the exact same thing, just the textbook versus the live chart example. So we have price come down into this low. In order to take buys, I need price to show me a new low, a new high, a fail to break that last low, then continue to make a bullish change of character, have a retracement, and then pop to the upside. So in other words, I'm looking for a resistance to be respected, and then price to actually disrespect it and use it as a support in the other direction. So we can see right here, this was used as a resistance. Right here, it was used as a support. We've also got a trendline break entry when we do that. So here's our change of character right above this high. And this is what we would call an internal change of character, because price is obviously doing something bearish on the higher time frame. So when we see this, we say, okay. Now let's see what happened up here. And we're anticipating price to have a bounce because we're filling this gap and we're sweeping this low, all right? High, low, high. So if that's not exactly what I just marked up, I don't know what is, because if we look at this right here, we can see how this was used as resistance, then turned into a support, also giving us this small trendline break entry that I actually executed off of. So the entry looked like this. 200-point stop right above. And you can see price smacked TP, killed it. So I had one entry there. I had one entry, I want to say over here somewhere, as price actually broke the internal. So we can see another 1 to 5 position. And then the final entry was right up here. After, okay, let's mark up the highs and lows so you can see a little better. So there's our low. Here was our previous high that got broken, showing us the bullish change of character. Okay, so after we actually see the change of character, now we get this trend confirmation push above the high. Trend confirmation as in price just changed character and now it's pushing past that higher low that it just created, signaling that the trend is actually changed in that direction. So when I see a new high and a new low, along with this break and retest, I say, okay, price is pushing my direction after what I anticipated to be true actually showed that it's true. I executed it. I'm in floating profit. I feel safe to take this third entry because price is behaving in a way that actually shows it actually shows it's pushing in my direction. So all TPs were at 450. You can see it right here in the screenshot. So that is all 3 entries I used to actually execute this. And I think we should finish the textbook setup down at the bottom before I cut this off, just so it's a little bit more clear. But all TPs were set right here at 450. And we can see those 1 to 5s just smacked. And then this actually had set for 100-point stop loss. If it would have came minus 50% after that entry started breaking below that resistance, I would have closed. So we can see it smacked for 1 to 5 too. Okay, let's look at the example down here along with the confirmation list. But I hope that makes sense though, right? So when we come down here and we see all of this was just simply comprehending market structure. It was me knowing, okay, the higher time frame is making a low. So on the, yeah, did I say that right? It's me comprehending on the higher time frame, price is making a low. So on the lower time frame, I want to see price flip bullish so we can actually have our retracement before we do continue to head down. So this was a counter trend trade. If you're starting to learn higher time, or if you're starting to learn 1, 2, 3, 4 with me, 2 is a place on the higher time frame structure you can execute counter trend trades every time. Are they going to work every time? Maybe. But they are valid setups structure wise and comprehension wise. And this is how they work. And that is why I turned 200 into 700. That is why I had a 20K day, just because I comprehend the way that this puzzle works. It's like a pattern recognition puzzle game. And the way you make money is being disciplined and keeping your P&L pretty. Nothing matters Nothing matters. Like my assumptions don't matter. My predictions don't matter. As long as I can execute a trade, lose the risk that I plan to lose, not revenge trade, not FOMO back into another entry. As long as I can execute my plan like to the T, like real deal perfect, then I'm putting myself in position to catch these high probability setups based off of comprehension on how it actually works. This comes from years, bro, of showing up and losing. I tried supply and demand. I tried, I don't even know what I was doing before supply and demand, but I was profitable. I was doing support and resistance break and retest with trendline breaks. And that worked really well for me. So after supply and demand failed for me, I incorporated just everything I had learned in pure price action and how the market be moving from what I can see. And that's how I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4. And I use just normal market concepts like fair value gaps. I don't enter off of them, but they do cause reactions in the market, so I use them. Fair value gaps, highs and lows, support and resistance, trendline breaks. Outside of that, the only thing you need is structure comprehension to be able to map out how the puzzle should be moving. And you've got to know, we all only execute when it should do this. So know that the market is smart, it's tricky, and that's where losses come from. It's your job to just take that one loss, 2 maximum, and walk away. That day is done. You don't sit there and fight for another entry. That day is done, man. When you do that, it causes your P&L to be ugly. And that has caused me personally to be unprofitable for a matter of years. Not executing my plan perfectly and sticking to literally stuff that I had wrote down and executing upon anticipations. I anticipated this was going to happen, so I sent it to the group, but executing it early would have been a mistake. That's why I took the early internal trendline break entry only in the demo. That was me saying, okay, I see this setup forming. I have an urge to execute. I'm not going to do it in my live account because I want to keep my P&L pretty. So I'm going to do it in my demo. Who's that hurt? Nobody. People say, oh, it's demo. Bro, do you understand what it took to even get the demo account to have those numbers on there? You ain't doing it. You see what I'm saying? So don't care about nothing like that. And I know for a lot of people, being an influencer, being online and, showing your results and stuff, it means a lot to some people. But I want you to know, you get rewarded in public for the actions you take in private. So stick to your plan, lock in a system, and execute it perfectly, bro. Yeah, perfectly. Like 10 out of 10 across the board. If not, settle for a 9. Settle for an 8.5. As soon as you start getting to that 7 out of 10 area, you fucking up, man. Your goal isn't to be perfect, but to try to be perfect. And that yields some pretty good results. And I hope this year I'm showing y'all that, because these 200 into $700 wins, like, they gonna turn into 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 profits. And I know that for a fact. So I hope you following along with me, man. I want you to do this more than me, because I know I'm gonna do it. But if I would have had somebody breaking this stuff down to me like this when I started 5, 6 years ago, bro, I would have been profitable, because this is a system. This is a system being broken down with the mindset behind it. This is me showing you textbook and live example. Like, bro, people pay thousands for this. So if you are one of the few people following me on this journey right now, posting these wins and breaking them down, I hope you know it's something you can pick up. Even if it sounds confusing, you got this. Keep working.